Hi all, welcome to On the Mic. Today we are going to make a special episode on Iran. What's the game plan and what exactly is actually going on with Iran? There are multiple theories that are brewing up. Stay tuned, like this video and subscribe the channel. So let's get started. So what's happening in Iran? In a nutshell, towards the end of December, I think there was a protest started by the businessmen, and it spread across to all different cities in Iran because the currency was devaluated, and because of the devaluation and high inflation, people were unable to buy, or like it was very costly for them to buy everything, the basic needs, you would say, oil or anything. Okay, that's the first trigger point. So what happened next? There are a lot of external actors like US, Israel, who are waiting for some sort of an opportunity which they wanted to do a regime change like they have done in Nepal, Bangladesh, and they kind of initiated their sources or their people there, and the protests turned quite violent and it ran close to 17 to 18 days. So do you think is it the first protest that Iran is facing? No. Every 3-4 years, starting 2009, Iran has seen one or other great protest. 2009 there was a protest. Again in 2015-16, I believe there is one protest, and recently regarding an Iranian girl hijab, because she was not wearing the proper hijab, so there was a protest, and this is the fourth one. So all the protests, the time frame might be like 3 months to 6 months or anything, but all the protests were controlled by the present regime of Iran, I would say. And this time also they have done, but this time I think the protesters, because there was external support, indirectly they kind of demolished the government buildings, mosques and all the stuff, and unofficial sources say that more than 15,000 got killed, the protesters, and multiple thousands got injured and were admitted in hospital, and there was some severe damage done to the government properties as well. In between this, as you know, Trump is saying, kind of telling the protesters that yes, I am there, I'll be stepping in and I'll do whatever I can, you continue the protest, sort of a thing. But that help never came in, and there was I would say a lot of betting across the market that Trump would hit actually going to strike, but all of a sudden the strikes were the US attacks, I would say, yes, don't get with the word strike, the US strikes or the US attacks were called off. So what exactly happened? The external entities took an opportunity of an internal unrest, and they made it quite big and ensured that it ran for 18 to 19 days, and they kind of damaged a lot of government properties, and they lost a lot of their lives. And there was a point that everyone in the world expected that Trump and Israel would strike Iran. Everything was ready. It was just one button that Trump has to say yes, but they kind of stopped back. So what happened? What is the mystery around it? See, there are two set of theories, but I will share my perspective. See, Iran is not a small nation or an easy nation where you would go like Venezuela picked up that Murdo, you can also pick up Iran Supremo. No, that's not like Iran has got this particular regime which has been running since 1980s, this Islamic regime. They have got a strong IRGC Islamic guards, and they have Basit, and like their structure is damn good. It's just not like other. It's like a proper structure they have in terms of running the country, controlling the riots and all stuff. So, and I believe Israel and Iran, I believe Israel and US were planning to do the strikes, and they never expected the strikes that were happening in Iran would calm down. They were quite underprepared for that. So if, let's assume, the unrest was still continuing till date as we speak, definitely they would have done the strikes, because they were quite underprepared. And Iran is a huge terrain, and they have got strong base, direct military, and they have got sponsored organizations across the neighbors as well. They felt it difficult, because once they get in, it's going to be something like an Iraq-US conflict, where it would definitely run 2 to 3 years, and US is not in a position to do that. Everyone knows Trump is a businessman before he becomes a president. As a businessman, he wants crisp decisions and return on investment. He don't want to engage in a war of 2 to 3 years and get stuck. So he wanted to do something like Venezuela, but with Iran, the ground realities are entirely different. So they stepped back. Do you think this is a stop point and there won't be any disturbances? And there is a unconfirmed news also that Russia has done mediation between Israel and Iran to ensure both are not attacking at each other. So this is an unconfirmed news, because nothing came out officially, but it's been brewing across the net. So what is now? Did US and Israel take a step back and they will never attack Iran? Or does Iran is thinking that they are safe now and there won't be any disturbances now? No. Definitely USA and Israel will plan something. They want to cover their entire bases, because they wanted to have their air carriers around that region, then kind of do some sort of an continuous bombing. Post that, they have to definitely put their boots on the ground to counter Iran. And this time Iran clearly said that if an attack happens either with Israel or US, they are going to target the nuclear facilities of Israel. And Iran has got one of the world's best drones, and whatever Russia is today doing magic in the Ukraine war, I think much of it came from Iran, and they have got like a lot of good missiles and all. Even though 5 missiles go and hit, it's a lot of damage to Israel, right? So both the parties are preparing themselves for the war. Definitely Iran and US will try to do something, but I think from a regional perspective it is definitely not a good decision. Already, like, we have seen a lot of turmoil that's been continuing between Ukraine and Russia. We don't want one more thing, and that's a direct war. It's going to cost us more than anyone. Who will be burned more than Iran, I would say, is China, because their oil supplies, definitely 20% of their oil supplies will get hit, because they get most of them from Iran. And something happens in Iran, I think China will literally cry. And it's not only that, they have invested $100 billion and they have supplied a lot of war material, and they provide a lot of intelligence to Iran as well. So I think China will get hit badly. And we also don't know, this could be a pressure tactic from Trump administration to tell to China, boss, you wanted to exert pressure on the rare metals and all, we know how to squeeze your energy supplies as well. Because they got hit, China, by hitting Venezuela, because China is not getting no more oil from Venezuela. That could be like 5% or 6% officially, unofficially, like during black feeds as per the unconfirmed sources, another 5%, total 10%, and $100 billion investment got hit in Venezuela. and similar thing happens in Iran, I think it's going to be disaster for China. I think because, as I say, like, Trump is a businessman. Definitely he wants China to come sit across the table and kind of start talking on the deal. So interesting times. So US is using Iran to bait China. Israel is using USA to hit Iran, and Iran is using Israel to kind of create little bit of tremors to Saudi and other neighboring countries like Saudi and Turkey, okay, and Pakistan as well. I think definitely down the line 3 months, I think Iran will do something concrete to Pakistan, because Pakistan is trying to be playing a dual game in Iran. One hand supporting to US and Israel, one hand putting up false tears in front of Iran, right? Everyone remembers when Asif Munir went and met all the military generals of Hamas, or everyone got killed, right? So Iran still remembers that. So interesting times. So, and India also little bit step back from the Chabar port because of this mounting tensions. They said, like, okay, fine, fair deal, we'll take a step back and see, once the things settle we can get in there. So now Iran has become the main focus point, and we have to see whether it's a strategy by Trump and administration to crack a deal, or they are very serious to kind of eliminate Iran. And if that's so, again, welcome everyone, we are going to see a long war like Ukraine and Russia. So, and definitely Iran is also preparing themselves. They are taking that breathing space. And one advantage, I would say, it's like not supporting Iran and all. One advantage to Iran is like they have got lot of sponsored organization who could do lot of damage to Israel. So very interesting time, and next 2 to 3 weeks would be very quite interesting. So please share your thoughts, and please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.